Okay. Let's call this meeting to order, the Architectural Review Board meeting of Wednesday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. Roll call vote, please, or roll call, please.
Mason.
Here.
Morrison.
Here.
Marvin.
Here.
Press.
Here.
All right. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, citizens time. Got any emails?
No.
And I'm assuming you're here for the COA, right? So any concerned citizen comments you want to make as well? Okay, so we'll move on then. Minute approval. Do I have a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the Architectural Review Board regular meeting minutes from March 18th, 2026.
Got a motion and a second?
A second.
Okay, anything up for discussion? All in favor then? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. We'll go to the agenda items. We got ZP 2026-002, 15030 Washington Street sign installation.
So this is a sign application for a new business that'll be opening in town called Viva Women's Health Collective and Midwifery Care. It'll be in the same building as the Thrive Medical Spa that is at 15030 Washington Street. The sign is to hang below the pre-existing Thrive Medical signage. It will be wood. It'll be 15 by 32 inch. And the colors are going to be gray, purple, dark green, and gray olive. The address 15030 is a historic building. It's the Rustin Pickett House. The town does consider the coloring to be within the historic palette for the town of Haymarket, and it does not clash with the historic building. The pre-existing Thrive Spa is currently made of wood. It has that white L-shape hanger with a green backing and gold lettering. So the new sign will match with the pre-existing sign. We can open up discussion for any questions or any other requests for additional information regarding the sign.
I'll leave it up to the applicant. Is there anything you want to comment on beforehand or? Okay.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, I think it's fairly straightforward. Of course, my default question, right? Commission, has it gone through planning or is this a managerial approval?
So this will
Or
be administrative.
Yeah.
But it does meet all sign requirements. The pre-existing sign meets requirements, but even with the additional, it still meets zoning requirements for a maximum amount of signage. So it's all good.
No confliction with any future plans of a love sign or anything that was tossed around before, since I think it's in the same area, isn't it?
As of right now, we don't, the town doesn't have a straightforward plan of where the love sign will go. We do have plans to get one for the town of Haymarket, so I don't see it clashing with where we would intend to be for that love sign be put.
Yep, just future thought.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? Got a motion?
Let's try this again. I motion to approve ZP number 2026-002 at 15030 Washington Street sign installation.
Got a motion? Second?
I'll second.
Okay, last chance for discussion. Anybody? Okay, do I have a motion to, or, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It looks like it's already built, so I'm assuming all you got to do is put it up, right?
Kind of. Yeah, we have working on it, but, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm so passionate. I mean, I'm from the area. I live in the area for 20 plus years and have to move, to Warrenton, but, I'm really local. My daughter lives in the town as well. And the idea is, we love Haymarket, and the idea is to provide high quality care to all the women, in the city.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
So
well,
the sign will be very helpful because, people get to know more and stay, in town, acknowledging that we have, because the OBGYN offices or the women health offices in the area are not accepting patients, and people need to go, farther. So I think this is a great opportunity. All right.
all right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
very much.
Mhm.
Okay, that's it? Okay, fantastic, thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Thank you.
So I'll send you Marty an email, we just kind of like a letter with the zoning people. Okay, and you guys can come over and put it, right? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Okay, moving on, old business.
So in terms of old business, the town right now, town staff is working on reviewing a number of resubmission plans for both as-built and preliminary plans, including as-built for Kitty Academy, preliminary plans for the Haymarket Hotel over in the Crossroads Village, the Meladon Self-Storage, which is over in the industrial area. The Carter School submitted their as-built, and Lifetime Smiles also submitted their as-built. So lots of stuff in the works with that. We sent out a secondary violation notice in the town, and we're working with the property owners to help finish getting things cleared up in that area. I have a meeting scheduled with the property owners next week to talk with them a little bit more. And I've talked with some additional business owners around town regarding prohibited signage that has gone up in the past couple of months that will now be removed, that is prohibited, including feather flags and banners that are just too big to be hanging in the town. I think that's all I have for old business.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Well, I'll only go with some of the stuff I've seen on Facebook in the area, and
Mhm.
that's, any nibbles on the Lidl property? Is it, whatever is supposed to be on the Crossroads Village side? What is that? That is Lidl's, right?
Mhm.
Or is it the other one?
There's the for sale
Any,
sign.
yeah. Any progress
oh, you
on
mean-
what that might turn out to be?
Oh, so yes, the property was purchased by Lidl. They were intending to put a supermarket in there. As far as the town is aware, that will not be happening anymore. I think between the Harris Theater and the Sprouts opening up, they just pulled out. So Lidl still owns the property. I think it's still for sale. We haven't seen anything come in on that recently. So hopefully we'll see something new pop up. Another property within Crossroads Village, I think I mentioned this before, behind the CVS, but what's going to be in front of the hotel that's going to be there. We had somebody who was interested in that for a potential drive-through option, which would require an SUP, but I haven't heard anything further about that. The plans that came in for the hotel, I think I previously mentioned that they were for 6 stories. they came back and it's actually going to be for 5 stories as of right now. I think that changed during their internal review system process, so we'll see what comes. Either way, they have an SUP for 6 stories if they change their mind again, so we'll see.
Okay. That's the only thing that I saw stirring on Facebook.
Yeah.
So people asking about the Lidl property. So,
I think that the property management is eager to have somebody in there to have something go through, but the town hasn't seen anything yet, so we'll see.
okay. We'll move on to new business then.
So on April 14th, the Planning Commission moved forward with providing a resolution for recommendation for the QBE rezoning. Myself, Emily, and town engineer Katie just recently held a meeting with developers looking to put 8 single-family homes on the 8 acres on Jordan Lane, which is over the bridge just before you get to Old Carolina. That subdivision will be in coordination with a proposed townhouse subdivision on the Prince William County side. But it will be single-family homes on the Haymarket side, across from Robinson Paradise. So there will be a preliminary stage of site development for those plans as they come through.
Mhm. I can't remember how that was zoned. I'm assuming that's pretty much the corner lot and
Yeah,
back.
so it's 8. So there's about, I want to say like 1 to 2 acres that's owned by VDOT,
Mhm.
right when you turn on to Jordan Lane. And as you go a little bit further in, then there's 8 acres that are for sale, and it's zoned R1, so it'll be single-family residentials. So 8 roughly 1 acre homes.
Yeah, and that area is pretty much where the dumping was occurring, that they put the
Yes.
barriers up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know initially, we had someone who purchased it, God, it's gotta be close to 20 years ago, that,
Mhm.
wanted to make it an auto shop. And so I
Mm.
didn't remember how that was zoned. I was just wondering, so it's R1?
Yeah, I think that, having that development in there would be very good for the town. I think it'll be good for the residents that are at the end of Jordan Lane.
Yeah.
So I believe the developer is gonna move forward with the single-family homes, whether or not the rezoning on the Prince William County side goes through, since it will be 2 separate projects. So we're hopeful that we receive something in the pipeline soon.
Yep. Can't wait to see site plans on that one.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And it'll be nice to have that much acreage for the homes, because you just can't find that anymore in Haymarket. So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it, or do you have other items?
We also recently just had the survey crew for the EPA grant out on Monday, Tuesday, and I think they were out today. I believe their work is finished. It was just 3 days work of surveying and shooting topography. So they'll get back to us in a couple of weeks with that surveying information. And I do have a follow-up meeting with them next week to just kind of run through the gist of how everything went, but it looks like everything was good. No issues, no road blockages or anything, so that was good.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I didn't see anybody come around my house, but I'm sure when the report comes back, they're gonna go, wow, that guy in
And they did
6752, he really knows how to upkeep his swale.
They did tell me yesterday that they were able to avoid a lot of like going into people's yards.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of the preliminary documentation that we sent out basically asking for permission was like a just in case, but I think they were able to avoid a lot of that by setting up their scopes in certain places, so it was good. And they only had to pop one what's it called, on the street? Manhole, thank you. They only had to pop one manhole, and it was like close enough to a side street that they didn't have to block traffic. It was great. Quick and efficient, so.
Nice.
Yep, and truly, if we have manholes in town, it's from construction that's not 20 years old and reinforced concrete, it should still be good.
Yeah.
We still got another 20 years on it.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, to replace that's going to be an expensive ticket. I'd love to be able to negotiate with Prince William and roll this into their stormwater management program. That's the councilman coming out of me. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, is that it?
I just one last note, our next business roundtable will be May 12th, and that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, any questions? Let's move on then. Planning Commission updates. Your thunder was stolen, right?
Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It happens. Pretty much, it was just the schoolhouse commons. We all heard the developers speak again, and we heard the traffic. What was their traffic? They're a traffic researcher.
Mhm.
She went over some further information, and Emily asked her a lot of questions and got a lot of great information. Then we all took a vote, and that turned out 4 yay, 1 nay. And is there anything else that we should cover?
also reviewed the CIP information. There was a couple things that we added, including sidewalk extension in a couple areas that the commissioners had mentioned last time. So we wanted to make sure that was added in. We also added in the grant programs that we have in coordination with Prince William County. So the EPA grant. There was a couple other things that we added in as well. Concerning, a couple things that we removed that we have already completed, like information at the park and so on. So, and then, yeah, I think that was it.
Should I mention any of the updates to the application?
You're more than welcome to.
I think they did update the internal sidewalks.
Mhm.
I think they're working on a crosswalk situation with a button with like a flashing light, but that's something that they can't approve until the application's been approved, I suppose. was
No,
how-
so they want to put a crosswalk across Washington Street from Green Hill Crossing. That is subject to VDOT approval since
Yes.
it goes across a VDOT road.
Right.
So they'll fund it. Well, their intention, they'll put it in, but it's subject to VDOT approval.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure that won't really come into play until site plans are put
Yeah.
together and approved.
That's kind of what we were getting.
Yeah, but it was important that we asked for it now, so it was on the GDP. We wanted to see that good faith initiative from the developers that it was going to be put in there to help with walkability to the site.
Yeah, and the woman with the traffic report, she said that the roundabout was not going to be helpful for us, an additional roundabout. I don't know if, was that talked about previously?
I don't remember. I'm sure it was probably an object that was raised on traffic abatement.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did. During our meeting in March, the question was raised whether or not the roundabout that's in Prince William County further down the road would function the same in 20 years, because when a roundabout goes bad, it goes really bad. So they extended their study by 20 years. During that discussion, when she was explaining the collection of the data to prove that the roundabout would still be functioning at capacity in 20 years, the question of whether or not a roundabout could be placed in front of the property on Washington Street was raised. I believe her response was that it would not serve a purpose for the town. I believe that was her response. I will say that we have received, because the property they do have to submit their site plans to VDOT for comment. VDOT has requested that they do a analysis for how a crosswalk would serve the town if the plan were to be approved. So VDOT has requested that.
Yeah. Well, I think we have enough statistics with our speed signage to say that even though they've lowered that segment of road to 25 miles per hour all and extended it all the way out to the circle, before, once you left our property, it was 35 miles an hour. They've proven that the speed does increase up past the speed limit. So, abatements, they also are for a pedestrian safety as well as a crosswalk, right? Is a crosswalk with flashing lights good enough? Hopefully VDOT can make a smart decision, right? With their engineers.
Yes. So they'll still be reviewing those comments for VDOT, and myself and town engineer Katie are also reviewing those comments from VDOT as we go further along in the process.
Yeah, but that comment about future down the road, it'll be a disaster because of traffic impacts. The road's 25 miles an hour. Roundabouts are built for 25-mile-an-hour roads. I don't know how that would be a disaster, but
Well,
I'll just
my
scratch my head
comment-
on that one.
I
so.
apologize. My comment was for longevity of as traffic increases. Typically, a roundabout has difficulty serving the region as it goes on. So they extended their study period to 20 years out, whether or not that percentage increase on traffic, whether or not that roundabout would still work.
Yeah, well, I don't think any intersection in this area is going to not fail within 20 years. Just congestion is congestion. Build out is build out. And Prince William has high hopes on how they can enrich their land around here right now. So
Yes. Yeah.
Here.
and let me point to Heathcote property development, right? So I'll leave it at that. Okay. Any other comments on new business? Come on up here. There we go. Or planning commission. Sorry, I'm on the wrong subject.
I think that pretty much concluded planning commission.
Okay. Then we'll move on to town council update. Budget planning season. So that's kind of the primary thing. With budget planning, we did evaluate a lot of policies when it comes to investment and spending restrictions for town management administration. So those things are coming up. RFP for the park planning and design is still under negotiation. That's about all I have. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I will say that Emily and other members of town council and town staff interviewed for the park RFPs this previous week. So I think that they have some discussion still to do regarding the interviews, but as far as I've heard, that they both went very well.
That's right. So just kind of shows you we're in the last leg of process for award. So it should be coming pretty quickly. Again, things take a while. So even though this may be awarded, the first step is, of course, to reconfirm with a Charette. Is that the right term? Charette? Charette. There we go. On the previous plans that we spent probably about $20,000 on back over 15 years ago, to make sure that that's still wanted by the town, readjust it, in which a design will come from that. So we're probably not looking at any type of build to start until 2027. Spring of 2027, hopefully we will have gotten an RFP for build at that point because the design should be finished and groundbreaking should be started. So that's the kind of time frame we're looking at for that.
Are all the elements that were on the old RFP still going to be considered?
They will be using the old master plan as their baseline.
Okay, so all those elements are still in play. That's
Yeah.
good.
And that's on, online, right? I think that's on our website for anybody who's interested. Oh, Bob Weir Day, that's right. That's on Monday.
There's a flyer
Yeah.
you can grab on the way out. A number of political figures from the area will be coming. So we should have a good turnout.
Yeah, Danica and Josh and even the Prince William County representative will be here. George. Also, Miss Wall isn't going to show up.
I'm not sure. I apologize.
Somebody that is not anymore.
Somebody from the school board won't be here anymore.
Won't be here on Monday. Everybody else listed should still be.
Okay, so yeah, there should be good government turnout for
Yes.
good question asking and open up to full transparency for the citizens.
From 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Mhm.
Get that on the record there, since you don't have a mic. 3 to 5 on Monday. Okay, any questions before I move on? Okay, let's move on. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I second it.
And I got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
So in the